If we could now rise and both hands and sing Shirley's Presence. Okay, we're going to do it off the cappella.
Acapella, yeah.
Okay. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on His face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Thank you.
Am I the only one that forgets that we do this every week?
That's why you forgot the song.
Yeah, I did.
We didn't have time to study that.
So, let's introduce our guest musicians today. It's Double Take. Ben and Diane, who are gracing us with their gifts today. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. They're good friends of Tom and Casey for quite a while. And Barbara's up visiting her family in the north, so Ben and Diane step in. Double Take. Good. I'd like to welcome all the new listeners and, of course, everybody else, who some of us have been friends for over 20 years. So good to see everybody here and online. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, would you please silence your cell phone? You don't have to send out your landlines, because I don't think they're with you. So today's daily word is grace. I trust my grace is a daily blessing. As an expression of God, I need not ever worry about earning God's approval or favor. Grace is my assurance that I am one with God and heir to all of God is healthy. I know oneness during times of deep spiritual communion, understanding I'm fully human and fully divine. Through this awareness, my experience of grace deepens. I understand grace is more than a gift from God. I begin to see it as an aspect of my divine inheritance. Grace is not a blessing I need to hope for. It's a blessing I can count upon. It is trusting I'll have what I need when I need it, that my support will come to me, even from the most unlikely channels. Grace is knowing that God is with me and within me throughout my life. Our scripture today is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God. Grace. Our affirmation is, I trust my grace is a daily blessing. And we have a mission statement. It'll be up on the screen and we can say it together. If you would please say it with me. We are a loving, nurturing community dedicated to being a positive path of spiritual living to awaken oneness with God within us all. And so we're trying to change things up here, keep things fresh. So we've had this mission statement for a while, and the board thought, wouldn't it be an interesting idea to have an evolving mission statement, one that we actually embrace and put into action each year. So at our annual meeting, we're going to decide, so I'd like you to think about it. Will our mission statement include prosperity? Maybe learning more about the Bible? Or learning more about Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our founders? So when we have our annual meeting, December 3rd, that's next week, please come and please, we want your input. We want this to be something you personally embrace and work on in your daily life. So as I said, our annual meeting will be next Sunday, December 3rd, right after the service. We'll have fellowship and food, of course, very good. And I don't know, there's this doubt about pizza. I don't think so. There will be pizza. Yeah. If you know Tom, there will be pizza.
So don't bring anything, well.
Yeah. So it's a day off for those of us who cook, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unless you make pizza.
Possibility, Charlie makes good pizza. So we have a first Monday meditation, and that will be December 4th, the next day, at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And that's Charlie, my husband, Charlie Richard. And the theme will be Tilling the Soil. We broadcast live our services on YouTube, Facebook. And to me, the easiest thing is just go onto our webpage at unityoftheseacoast.org, and the buttons are right there. Tap YouTube, you'll get the service. Tap Facebook, you'll get the service. And our meetup is there also, and that's our current events. Those are the events that are going to be happening, so you can tap on that and find out what's happening. And all of our talks are archived there, so you can go back and look at things too. Not that we go back and look at ourselves, right, Tom? That was a great one. And our donate button is there, of course, because like any nonprofit, in order to sustain this place and very minimal staff, we do need your help in that, boosting our prosperity. If you prefer to mail your donation, that's something. The address is Unity of the Seacoast, McConnell Center, Suite 246, 61 Locust Street, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. It says again, check out our meetup page, because that's where you're going to find out all the things that are happening. Yesterday we had Unity Poet. It was it's amazing. It's not just reading poems. If you write poetry, please bring it. We'll listen. We'll discuss it. But Shane Lauren from UNH comes, and it's so much more. It develops into how the world is seen through poetry, how you see the world through poetry. And we had some pretty lively discussion yesterday. It's very interesting. Do come. That's the third Saturday of the week. Excuse me, at 2 o'clock. We have game night, which is fun and for all ages. That is the third Friday, so we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, level up. Constantly going there the middle of the week, middle of the month. But it's really fun. We've got from 10-year-olds to I won't say, and we just combine, some people play cards, some people play board games, some people just talk, but it's a way to connect and socialize and have fun, and we do. We also offer a course of miracles on Thursday mornings at 10 o'clock. This is something that you'll feel called for. It's not something you're obliged to do or something you have to do. You'll get a calling if you're interested in the Course of Miracles. We have a pretty nice core group going right now. So Thursday, 10 in the morning, please come. If you want more information on that, you can call Cynthia, and her phone number is, and I know you're not going to write it down now, but 207-216-3438. So again, I'm going to stress, next Sunday, the annual meeting, it is so important for our church, our growth, our future. So we're going to discuss the future of the church. Where do we want to go? It's a we, it's all of us. And we will also be selecting additional board members. Tom did the Unity Basic class yesterday, which I will say, in 21 years, the best I have ever been to. I went to the first one when we were on 2nd Street in Dover, and it was wonderful. And then I would go each year to be someone who has history of the church. And then when we moved to Florida, I went to the basics for Venice, Florida, and I then was asked to be part of the group the next time. Tom, it was just the best, most informative, most interactive class. I just wish we could do something like that regularly. It was wonderful, wonderful. So for those of you who missed it, next time he does one, y'all ought to be here. Oh, and Tom wanted you to know another case of Bibles, the Metaphysical Bible. What's the actual name, Tom? Fillmore Bible. Fillmore Study Bible. Another case came, and Tom is gifting them to people. So if you're interested, please take one. I would love to see mine, but Charlie's in it all the time. I have to wrestle it away from him. Another wonderful tool. And then if we could have Casey come up and talk about Operation Santa, our kickoff for Christmas, giving to our community.
Hey, everybody. We're starting a little bit late this year, so you'll have to excuse that. I hadn't received one, and I sent in to get it, and it just took a lot of time to get here. So I put up some flyers out back where you can read a little bit about each children. We have a 12-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy that we're buying for this year. And they ask, there's a few restrictions, nothing edible, dangerous, fragile, or religious. Use discretion. These children are not in foster care, but a lot of them are. So use your discretion anyways, because they wouldn't be getting gifts from us if everything was completely happy and normal. Minimum of $75 per child. I think Ed probably hit that already. Ed went to Costco and got a hose. So you see all these things crossed out. So he's gotten a lot of stuff already, which is great. But they want new unopened gifts. Wrapped are certainly accepted, but no used gifts. They want them to receive new gifts. You can look at some of the things that are listed there. And at the bottom, there's a little box, and it has things like the boy likes basketball. He wants basketball socks and basketball, which Tracy's going to get, but also age-appropriate items, just like a high school boy would like. For the girl, she likes things like books, makeup, jewelry, arts and crafts, writing. So there's a variety of things that you can get from them. And it's all due, I have to get it to the location on December 6th. So if anybody is able to donate to this, we'd appreciate it if we get them next week. If you can't, let me know, and we can arrange for me to pick it up or something.
Yeah, I have a question, Casey. If some of us want to kind of pair up to get 75, yeah, okay, all right. 'Cause
I'm not saying each gift.
right, I just wanted to clarify that,
Yeah.
right, so we can team up and get it.
Like there's a $50 Amazon gift card for the boy that
Mhm.
requested.
Okay.
So if a couple people want to go in on that.
Yeah. Great, right. We'll get it done, we always do. So next week, Tom is going to take a look at the birth of Jesus through the eyes of Matthew. And our Christmas season will cap off on Christmas Eve morning with an examination of Luke's story at the birth. This Thursday, November 30th at noon, some of us will be here to decorate, set the church up for Christmas. So anybody who could make it, that would be great. And so we've had a tradition over the past few years for Christmas service, and it was absolutely wonderful. We had a blast, but again, it's time to change things up. We don't want things to get stale. So this year, Sandra Campbell, Russell Highland, and Faith Rivera will not be joining us. They will in spirit, I'm sure of it, but they won't be part of our service. And we're aiming, you'll see, be there. It'll be interesting. It'll be different, I can assure you. And we're also going to have a Christmas Carol sing-along. We're aiming for December 22nd. Okay. Interestingly, about half the people here have birthdays in December. It's quite a month. And now we come to Namaste, our greeting soul to soul. The Christ in us sees the Christ in you. We honor you, we respect you, and we love you. So if you put your hands together in prayer position, and we can get up and roam around and namaste each other.
Sorry, trying to read that. Well, you still have plenty of those. You just don't want to outshine with your instruments.
Sorry. Do I have your attention? That's just a sweet greeting that we do in unity. Any unity I've been to, we do. And it's just such a startling thing in a way to stand in front of someone you've never met before and look into their eyes and see them. Very personal, very touching. So thank you, everyone. And now it's time for another double take.
And this is my cue.
This is actually a song that a friend of mine recently told me about, and I listened to it once and totally fell in love with it. So we're going to do it for you. That's it.
I think so.
I lost my keys in the great unknown. And call me, please, 'cause I can't find my phone. This is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is the stuff that's getting to me lately. In the middle of my little mess, I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin, but I gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing. Might not be what I would choose, but this is the stuff you use. 45 in a 35. Sirens and vines while I'm running behind. Whoa, this is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is the stuff that's getting to me lately. In the middle of my little mess, I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin, but I gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing. Might not be what I would choose. This is the stuff you use to break me of impatience, conquer my frustrations. Got a new appreciation. It's not the end of the world. Oh, this is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is the stuff that's getting one save me. In the middle of my little mess, I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin. I gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing. Might not be what I would choose, but this is the stuff you use. Whoa. This is the stuff you use.
I'm sure no one here can identify with that song, right? We never lose our keys or our phone or daily life. Thank you. That was so awesome. Love having you here.
You know, your regular person wants to cut out next.
Okay, yeah, right. We'll,
I mean, I hope everything's okay.
all right, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can do an encore, huh? So now is the time we introduce our speaker. I don't know. I've already said everything I can say about him. I love him. And Tom, come up and teach us something, will you?
Awesome. To be honest, my favorite introductions are the ones that don't talk about me. I really want to thank everyone for being here. Ben and Diane, thank you so much. I've known them off and on for about 10 years since I went into an open mic, and their kindness stands out more than their musical ability, and I'm so thankful to have you both here. So can we give them another applause? Probably the only people that would make me move away from my normal spot. So this is the start of the Christmas season. We're a little late decorating, but that will happen Thursday. And this year I thought I would stray a little bit from what I normally do. I just could not write 4 more talks about the Advent season. I just can't keep rehashing talks every year and trying to make them fresh. So I thought this year I would spend a little time taking a new look at the Christmas story, and then decided this week to look at the Christmas spirit. And we spend much of the year trying to understand the Bible and the stories from new angles. We look at the lessons and how they work in our lives, and often they clash with what we were taught as a child. We talk about how the stories are crafted. We talk about making Christianity practical. I like what I talk about to matter to the average person, to the guy sitting at the end of the bar deciding whether to go home, to the young man who's just depressed and can't sort it out, to the woman who's just sorting out her day. Maybe she doesn't want to go home, or maybe her boss is driving her nuts, or her employees are driving her nuts. To people who are depressed, who are fighting illness, but also to people whose life is going well and they just want to understand life, because if we can't take that book and learn something on a day-to-day level to get us through it, then it's just stories that become meaningless. We look at it through the year, and we study the doctrines and why were they created, each author's agenda. And by the end of the year, we come up with something that, even though it's personal and practical, it looks pretty different from what we were taught as a kid. And then Thanksgiving hits, and we have the service after Thanksgiving, and I throw all that out the window, because this time of year, I believe in the star. I believe in the walk to Bethlehem. I believe in the virgin birth. I believe the whole story, hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because the Christmas spirit, that thing that resonates in us from when we were children, it's filled with love and kindness. I don't need to question whether the story is true or not. I just sit back and I remember the stories as a kid. I remember my mom reading it to us from the Bible. I remember that we treat people better. I remember my father not swearing at the snow. It was big in our house. I remember wrapping gifts and treating each other as they mattered. And we fill our lives, and when we engage with others and we see others with love and compassion, and we just bring that gift to everyone that we come in contact with. I mean, how many of you do not feel good at the end of It's a Wonderful Life? And it's because we've seen or lived both sides of that story. We've had those moments when we're depressed, when the tide of life seems to pull us down. But yet we've also had those moments when we've gotten our life back, and that joyous feeling to know that we are loved. And folks, if you don't know that you're loved, I'm here to tell you you are. I use that word a lot, and I never, ever say it without meaning it. It's probably the most active word in my vocabulary, because it's important and it's a truth. Who isn't happy when Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye find love, and they walk out with Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen at the end of White Christmas? Who isn't happy when Rudolph gets to lead the sleigh? Or the abominable snowman who just wants a job and to be loved? Who isn't happy when the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes that day and he gets to carve the roast beast? So the only one not happy there is the roast beast. And if you want to get me into tears, put on The Little Drummer Boy. As a kid, I actually believed that story was in the Bible. The injured donkey, the painted smile. That's heavy stuff for a little kid. And then Jesus and the Christmas spirit saves him. Even though I'm old, my wife and I, we still do stockings every year. I still get that same feeling when I see them hung up in the morning. When our kids were young, it was so great to watch them unwrap everything and open things up. And when Bo got a little bit older, and he believed, but yet our daughter, son, me didn't, he wanted to be Santa. So he was the one that put her stuff under the trees. He stayed up late, which meant we had to stay up later till he went to bed and bring out his. But it was fun to see that spirit fill. And I'm telling you this because I want each of you to tap into that this time of year. I know it's in there. Your Christmas spirit is shaped by your memories. It's shaped by the stories and the shows and the songs. You know, when some hear Mariah Carey as the voice of Christmas, I still hear Andy Williams. You know, even those people who swear they cannot stand Christmas music find themselves caught up in a couple songs each year that touch that spot of melancholy. You know, I'll be home for Christmas, war's over, or Judy Garland singing, have yourself a merry little Christmas. That's my best Judy Garland impression by me. Or they find themselves tapping their feet to "We Wish," it's the most wonderful time of the year. You know, I think of getting the Christmas albums out and that feeling that you had when you looked at them, holding them as the songs played. And maybe like if you were like me, you dreamt of getting a new rock album for Christmas. My brother got, for 3 years in a row, a band called Inagata Davida. The funny thing is that's the name of the song. It wasn't the name of the band. But they put out 3 album covers with that. So every year my mother would buy it. So my brother had to say, Mom, stop. I have no more friends to give these to. But you think back to those traditions and you try to carry them forward and you create new ones. You know, we have to have a candle burning all night so that Santa can find our house. We set it in the sink with water around it because we're safe. And I remember as a kid when we moved into a house that had a chimney, I was so thankful because I didn't have to worry that what if Santa came down the chimney and landed in the furnace while it was on? All this stems, this good feeling from our Christmas spirit. It's the best that there is because it's felt by everyone. I have Jewish friends and family who do some sort of Christmas thing every year just to be part of the feeling. We talk all year about why can't people just see each other and be each other and see each other as the way they are in their hearts. The Christmas spirit does that, you know, except for Black Friday when we're fighting over a doll with a new bodily function or something. But the Christmas spirit brings that about in us. You ever wake up on Christmas morning and you realize you need something, you have to run an errand? So you drive to find an open convenience store. You do it happily. And you're thankful that that person is there on Christmas morning doing their job just to make your life easier. I remember years ago, my son Bo and I, we drove to the Cumberland Farms on Main Street in Concord. And as we walked in, there were 2 homeless guys sitting out there. And when we came out, we gave them each $100. Go get a hotel, stay warm, enjoy the day. This is what it's about. As a kid, I remember being that one that had to open up my father's gas station. I worked Christmas mornings. Wake up, we'd do the stockings, and then off I had to go. But I loved it because I loved seeing the people come in, the joy in their faces. Everyone's happy. No one pulls in going, give me gas. And they're just happy that you're there. And I was always happy to see them. It's the only day off per year that I don't want to sleep in. You know, when we care for someone, we're living a complete life. When we don't care for others, we're living half a life. And this time of year, we get that. We do coat drives. We give to the Salvation Army. We do toy drives. We do the Operation Santa. We work at food shelters. And we do what we can. Casey came home one year after working at the food pantry in Rochester. And she had us gather all our camping equipment, our tent, our stove, our heater, etc. Because a young couple there had had their stuff stolen. We found them the next night, drove them to their new spot, and gave them all that we could. Folks, sitting back there is one of the most kindest, loving people you're ever going to meet. Last year, Tracy did the coat drive. She would leave here on Sundays with a big pile of coats, often bigger than her. You couldn't see her. She kind of looked like She looked like a cotton polyester rayon cousinette walking down the hall. But that's what the Christmas spirit does. It's love thy neighbor as thyself. And this time of year, we get that. The Christmas spirit heals us. I mean, many of us fight depression during the year. We get caught up in things that drag our emotions down. You know, many years ago, I checked myself into a place, and the first thing they have you do is do group. So I checked myself in, and they woke me up. It's time for group. Okay. So you sit there, and they hand you crayons and a little thing to color. And I'm thinking, I'm not depressed because I can't color. I kind of mastered that by the age of 3. But as I looked around the table, it was filled with people from varying ages, from 20 years old to very elderly people. And what I noticed is that they had trouble coloring. They couldn't stay in the line, or they couldn't choose a color, or they couldn't sharpen their crayon. And I realized, Tom, you self-centered little jerk, it's not about you, it's about them. And I spent that week, when I would do group, helping everyone else do stuff. And because of that, I realized that helping others is the first step of getting out of your own head. You want to cure yourself from being depressed, reach out and help another. And Christmas spirit has that in it. You don't have to value yourself to help someone else. But when you help them, you value yourself. You walk away feeling good. The Christmas spirit, you know, it's amazing. You get to stop thinking about yourself and turn towards others. And maybe just for 1 month, you can stop taking things personally or think, why does all this bad stuff happen to me? And you notice that other people are going through stuff too. You know, all the well-adjusted people that I know, they all turned out to be struggling with something. And when you help someone else, you get to help yourself without disclosing that you're struggling. It's just a beautiful thing. Just, and if you don't have anything to give, reach out, smile, tell a joke. The ability to reach out and say hello. And I go through my friends list on Facebook, and I check on people that I haven't heard from. Maybe I'll read a post and I send something or whatever. Most of the time they don't respond, but I don't do it for the response. You do it because you want that person out there to know that someone loves them, someone is thinking about them. Maybe there's someone that you want to help, but you don't have it in you. Talk to us. We'll help you. You know, we'll help reach out. You know, I don't know what it is, but we're a community, and our community is to make the world better. You know, something happens the day after Thanksgiving, and I love this. We go from giving thanks to turning that thanks into action. Tell people Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. I'm going to tell you a secret. There is no war on saying Merry Christmas. It turns out people just want it to be greeted nicely. So greet people nicely. Hi, I hope your day is great. I really want this idea to catch on. I want to get that we get so used to a kind comment that it's second nature, and that we make those around us always feel better in that moment. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your smile. I love your scarf. And I do love your scarf, by the way. I always take time to notice what people wear because they take time to choose their outfit. So why not say, nice outfit? Frank, last week, that vest, lime sweater, or lime shirt, Frank looks sharp. And if you ever notice, Frank always has a pair of shoes that you're envious of. They're either really fancy or they're so ridiculously comfortable. You're going, oh, I could sleep in those. Hopefully he cleans his feet. But folks, we all want to be appreciated. And in any moment, we can offer that to somebody else. So why not do it? Make it a habit. The Christmas spirit, that has that built right into it. All the best of us shows up, and we get to share it with others. Remember, I had a talk on grace a couple months back, and I mentioned that grace is when you fill someone else's pot and yours fills as well. Well, the Christmas spirit is like that. The more you use it on others, the more it comes back to you. Now, I remember my first Christmas with Casey. I was so happy to be spending this Christmas with her. I had one of those old video cameras, that look like a boombox on your shoulder. And I carried it everywhere I went and asked people to wish her a Merry Christmas. I did it at the gym. I did it at the doctor's office. I had stand-up comedian friends of mine do it. I walked through the mall. I had a choir sing to her. I actually had a horse say Merry Christmas, Casey. I lived next to this horse farm, and I just carried it over, and this one horse walked up, put his head over the fence, and went, "Moo, moo, moo, moo." And when I watched it later, it actually mimicked Merry Christmas, Casey. So I dubbed that in. The Christmas spirit makes you a kid again, makes you enjoy life. So step into that. And then you notice you start developing gratitude. It's filled with gratitude. When we get to practice gratitude, gratitude works like this. The world offers you everything to survive and to live and to have a joyous life. And if you're not appreciative for the things that it's already offered, it's not going to offer you more. But when you're open and receptive and grateful for the little things, more things come. And gratitude, the universe responds. So be grateful in your abundance, no matter how small it is, because more comes to you. You become grateful for those who participate in your life, those memories that you have with others, all those moments you've shared. And eventually you start to do this all year. I remember a couple Christmases, and I was in my 20s and I was alone, and I would feel bad. And then I would think about the little things that I had to be grateful for. And my attitude changed. I would go out and I'd meet people, and they seemed kinder. They had the spirit. And because of those moments grateful then, I am completely grateful of these moments now. I get to do this with you guys every week. And as much as I like talking in Missouri or Indiana, I could not wait to get back to you, to look around and see these faces of the people I love. And I'm also grateful for every time I pass a house that's decorated for Christmas. I love seeing them. Such an expression of the Christmas spirit. I find that beautiful. And you find yourself feeling this spirit and this lovingness for no reason whatsoever. It's like walking outside on a Christmas cold day. I don't like the cold, but there's something different on a Christmas cold day. There's no wind. You feel it on your face, but the rest of the body is covered up and warm. Maybe you see the stars, and it's just kind of crisp. It's as if it knows, let's not be brutal today. Let's just make it an enjoyable day. I'm grateful for seasonal foods, the candies and cookies, but more than that, the squash and the meat cooking in the oven, to walk in the house and the heat of the house hugs you and welcomes you home, and those scents fill your nose. I'm grateful for at least 1 month a year we're not as divided as people. We come together to share love, not politically, not anything. We're just people. At least that's the hope. From the 1st of November from the end of November till the 1st of the year, I don't even want to kick a Yankee fan in the knee. Even the most hated Yankees are Bucky No Name Dent and Aaron No Name Boone. The F is left completely off that. So if you want to keep this spirit going, first embrace it. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And what that starts with, and it's implied, love yourself. You're born from perfection into perfection. It's events in life that's eroded at that. But you are still perfect, and recognize that all those negative thoughts that you tell yourself are not truth. The truth is you are perfect and loved. God is love and wisdom. God cannot help but to love you. Otherwise, it goes against God. When you allow the Christmas spirit to do its work through you and from you, it fills you. So love yourself. And then love the world. Remember, not long after Jesus' birth, Joseph had to pick them up and he fled to Egypt. So remember those around the world who are living in harsh societies, who just dream of having what we have. We were born here. We won the birth lottery. Others did not recognize that. Maybe you don't have something to help on a global level, but maybe you got blankets that you don't use anymore or clothes that don't fit. Donate them when you can. Maybe just say to someone, how was your day? And mean it. Hang around for the answer. How are you feeling? And not skate away. Just go, yep, I do want to hear it. Maybe you have one of those jars that you've been saving. You know, the ones you throw your coins in. It's by the keys or by the bedstand or by the TV stand. You know, you've been saving that for a rainy day. Well, it's raining for someone somewhere. So put them back into circulation. Turn that into a love action. When you head out the door, just grab a couple and throw it into maybe the Salvation Army or to someone on the side who just needs something. Don't think, well, they're going to spend it on drugs. That's none of your business. Your idea is to hand love, and hopefully that love goes further. It all comes back to you. The world is a big circle. It has no choice but to come back to you. You know, the Christmas spirit is measured in actions and in smiles. It's felt deep within us, yet it's shared with the world. It's a code or a set of standards that we seem to just understand this time of year. It's a standard for kindness, of empathy, compassion, and maybe some generosity. It's God running through us and bubbling up to the surface. People spend their whole lives trying to teach this feeling. Jesus did this just by his birth. Thank you. I'm going to step away, and we'll hear one more song before the meditation.
We're always waiting on the drummer. It's hard to find good help.
Thank you so much for having us here today.
You know what we started?
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
I forgot it's. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. eyes. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you guys so much. And if you didn't notice, even his strap matches. Yeah, that's fashion, my friend.
Anyone who's a musician that plays a stringed instrument like these straps, I should be their salesman because they have a built-in little locking.
Oh, I
thing.
like that.
Yes,
It's better than spending an hour trying to.
absolutely, and it stays on. The less I have to think about,
Yeah.
the better.
So you can get a different one for every outfit she has.
Yes, they come in all colors.
So at the end, we're not going to do the peace song. They're going to do another song for us after the meditation and the prayer protection. So don't jump up and get in a circle because you're just going to stand there. Now you can if you want. This month I'm going to do meditation a little different. I have a friend of mine that I met in Indianapolis, Annie Maddox, and she's an artist, and she doesn't do any art unless it has some kind of impact, whether social or environmental. If you walked into a room with 1,000 people, you'd say, she's the artist. She just has that air about her. And she put together a book of world prayers for peace. So today I'm going to read from the intro, but then the rest of the month I'm going to read a prayer of peace from a different culture, a different religion. So that's kind of what this season's about. It's about peace and loving everyone. So I'm going to ask each of you to find your comfortable position. As you take in and out a deep breath, find your comfortable breathing pattern. I always say your pattern because I remember trying to follow along with the person leading the meditation and I would get lost. I'm not breathing right. So just find what works for you. Just let everything slip away. As we do this, we remember that there is one power and one presence in our life and in the universe, God, the good and great omnipresence. We live in the image of God, which is love and wisdom. This is called choosing peace. The first step through forgiveness is through forgiveness and acceptance of self. Until one does this, one cannot forgive others, and no one is harder on others as they are on themselves. Self-loathing is at the back of all our picturing and behind all our thoughts towards others. After forgiveness comes acceptance. Acceptance of who we are, with all our perceived flaws and shortcomings. With acceptance comes peace. We are no longer at war with who we are. With peace comes love. First of self. This is not vain or self-glory. Until we can be full of love for ourselves, we will not have enough love to give away to others. No one can drink from an empty well. When Jesus was asked to name the most important law, he answered, love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. The master is the one who does not allow anything that happens to the outer or to disturb the inner. And then we get to be at peace. When we live from a place of highest good, we're able to give up all judgments against self and others. Love self and others unconditionally. Forgive self and others for indiscretions, perceived or otherwise. See each moment as an opportunity to start over. See each day as a potential for opportunity. See all strangers as potential friends. And all mankind as fellow seekers of peace who want a productive and happy life. Label no person, thing, or situation as good or bad. For value judgments are unreliable, changeable, personal, and therefore of no worth. You cannot control what happens to you in your life, but only how you react to it. Recognize that what you see in others is a reflection of yourself. So do unto others as if you would have them do unto you, because you reap the harvest of what you sow. Believe that there is strength enough and time enough for everything you need and wish to do. That everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and that you are always at the right place at the right time. Take time to be still, time to reflect. And when you can, join others in like mind and draw them into your circle and your shared energy. And may the peace be with you. And so it is. Amen. Yeah. I invite you back to me and we'll do the prayer for others. At any given moment in our world, there are people who are just trying to put on a brave face to get through the day. Whatever their situation is, it could be hunger, it could be oppression, it could be poverty, it could be depression, it could be illness. It could be just the day is just not flowing the way they'd hoped. And at any moment, there's also people who are going through life and life is fine. To all these people, we affirm their wholeness, their health, and their happiness. We affirm the wisdom of each other to share that wholeness, health, and happiness. We affirm wisdom upon our leaders, that they recognize each human as value. We're not commodities, we're not casualties, We're not collateral damage. We each have a purpose in life. We're each children of that which created us. So we wish them wisdom to see this, to set aside personal differences, to let war go, to let hunger go, to know that the world is abundant enough for everybody. For those at home, if you're wishing, if you're thinking of someone, just put their initials in the comment box. And if you're not comfortable with that, a heart emoji or a prayer emoji. For anyone here who wants someone on the prayer list during the week, email it to me, message me, or write it on this piece of paper and set it in that box, and we will get it, and we will pray on it, and we'll send it to the Mother Church, and they'll pray on it for 30 days, and I also go to our prayer meeting that we do on Wednesdays. So wish them health, wholeness, and happiness. So it is. Amen. And then next we'll do our prayer of tithes and offerings. Normally Barbara would play music, but I'll just... You're here, that's all that matters. Sharing abundance comes from, not financially, it comes from everything in life. Yes. If you guys join me for the prayer of tithes and offerings, and I'm going to try and do it from memory. It'll be up on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen. And we'll close this out with the prayer of protection. And I will cheat. And you'd think I'd memorize this because I say it every week. I was not a good student in school. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed. My favorite fact about this is Buzz Aldrin brought this to the moon. Yes. So technically, unity is the official religion of the moon. And I don't want to brag, but we have more members than that one does. So I'm going to step away. I thank you all. Ben and Diane, thank you. And we'll close this out with one song. Thank you so much. Yeah, an encore.
It's so mean to lock him inside the basement.
Someday he'll figure out how to get out.
That one.
I don't remember what day it was. I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in love with you. With each day comes a new way of loving you. Every time I kiss your lips, my mind starts to wander. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. 'Cause I love you more today than yesterday. But not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Tomorrow's date means springtime's just a day away. Cupid, we don't need you now, be on your way. I thank the Lord for love like ours that grows ever stronger. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. 'Cause I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Every day's a new day. Every time I love you. Every day's a new day. Every time I love you. Every day's a new day. Every time I kiss you. Every day's a new day. Oh, how I love you. Oh, every day's a new day. Every time I love you. Every day's a new day. Oh, how I love you. Thank you so much for having us here today.
And we're free next Sunday, too. Just say.